The parish of Namalemba covers an area about 15 miles by 7. It's divided up by some swampy areas of papyrus, some of which are cultivated and used to grow rice. The road comes up from the southwest, together with a twisty railway line. Namalemba village is towards the north, at a sort of crossroads. Jonathan's house is a little way outside the village. The vicarage, or the reverend's house, is at the crossroads. The school is right opposite. Behind the school is Namalemba Parish Church. It replaces an older one close by which fell down. The shopping precinct is on the other corner. The building on the left was built in the Indian style. The shops on the right, designed by a local architect. This is Sainsbury's. Now this is the Namalemba aid post. Charles explains why it wasn't quite up and running.
We want cement and shuttling and drugs to treat people.
The aid post opened for business on September the 26th, 1994. Busembatia, 4 miles north, is the commercial centre of Namalemba Parish. It's a railway town, and the daily train crossing East Africa rumbles in at about 4 in the morning. You could hear it coming for miles. Local produce lines the platform, ready to go to market. The heart of life in towns is the market. Busembatia's is fairly modest. It has the feeling of a car boot sale, or second-hand clothes. The produce on the meat counter still walks around. No fridges, you see. Wonderful dyed, patterned squares of cotton, which could be worn in lots of ways. How do they do that? Green bananas from which to make matoke. Big mistake this. Now, who's going to pay? Okay, I will. Everywhere Jonathan goes, he takes his trusty Sainsbury's bag. Well, they said, please reuse it. Now, the headmaster of the school at Busembatia is taking us to look round the milling plant. This chap and his family own it, actually. This enormous rice mill is Japanese. The problem is that people in outlying areas can't get into town and back again to process their rice.
It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. Yes. So it's just come straight out of the machine. Right.
But it's not just rice that needs milling. Smaller units stand around in other rooms.
And this is a maize mill.
Maize mill.
Maize mill.
Yes, a maize mill.
This machine is for making posho, made in Kenya. It proclaims on the side that it was made in Africa for Africans.
Yes.
Posho is maize flour used to make a kind of porridge.
This section for cassava only. Cassava only.
Cassava is the next product. This place is a warren of linking rooms. There's just so much machinery here, and you have to assume he makes it work for him. I asked him some indelicate questions about how he finances it all, but not surprisingly, I didn't get a straight answer.
Because we're not used to cassava, could you just show it to us?
It's the cassava.
It's cassava. It's. No, just have a little bit. This is good. Like a nut, a sweet nut.
Because
Next stop is Busembatia's health clinic, certainly the best one in the parish, which is why Namalemba's aid post is so important. Come into the outpatients department. This is a government-run clinic and is reasonably well funded. But even so, there are some obvious shortages.
Diseases. Which diseases are they injected for? Malaria.
The nurse told me that she vaccinates children against measles, malaria and whooping cough.
Right, that's good.
We were told that the only hospital up to Western standards in Uganda is 100 miles away in Kampala. As it happens, Jonathan's wife, Tolafisa, had suffered a stroke just 3 weeks before we arrived. And she'd been taken to Kampala to recuperate and have physiotherapy. There just weren't the facilities locally.
No. Do you have maternity here?
The stores looked fairly well stocked to me, though I'm no expert.
Yes. So you're reasonably well supplied with things. That's good. That's very good. Delivery table? Yeah.
The maternity ward looked pretty basic, and the delivery table. Imagine a long drawn-out labour in here. Doesn't really bear thinking about. But the staff are really dedicated.
Could the story just be continued? That from here, you've raised the funds to construct a new
little man about 500 for 3 pieces.
But appearances can be deceptive.
That one is
Buzumbatia Clinic is actually something of a success story, because over here they've made a start on a new, bigger building to house the clinic. A local councillor showed us round.
How long before it'll be finished? How long will it take to
As
finish?
soon as we get money, can finish it at any time. This one will be the children's ward here.
Children's ward.
Yes, it is a full one. I think it will have about 20 beds for children, because those are very small.
Yes.
For children. Now this room will be for the attendant. An attendant who will be on duty will be using this room. Yes.
It takes 3 months. It's very, very fast.
3 months.
Buzumbatia has other success stories. The church has outlived its present building too, and the groundworks and footings were done for a magnificent new one. The archdeacon inspected the works closely. It was a professional job, all right, and going well. But you can see why they tend to run out of cement. Moving on now, we're heading for Idinda, the most northerly sub-parish, and a successful one too. They've decided to extend rather than abandoning their outgrown existing church. The roof's the major cost. Wherever we went, people begged us to help them with the cost of their iron sheets for building. It's about £10 a sheet, which adds up to an enormous cost for them. To the west is Minani, and yet another blueprint for growth. The archdeacon is delighted, but, well, someone seems to have mismeasured. The plan says a vestry. There won't be much room inside, though. The bricks are baked on site from the red mud. We sensed a little embarrassment. Still, the old church has done well.
It's lasted for 42 years.
The school is also under construction. It has an iron roof donated by the Rotary Club of Ginger and features a spy hole from the headmaster's office into the classroom. Clever, eh? We found ourselves asking why on earth they couldn't put all that work into just one building to serve as a school during the week and a church on Sundays. Time for the national anthem.
We I'm you, my son, I'll save you. I'll guide you to the end of the world. One day,
Now the serious business commences. Everywhere we went there were meals and speeches, gifts and prayers of thanksgiving.
I have a letter from the vicar of Bitton Church in Southampton, England. To our brothers and sisters in Christ, the staff, officers and parishioners of the parish of Namalemba, greetings. The grace and peace of the Lord be with you all. Thank you for receiving Paul Cranston and Ian and Sue Ward with your famous hospitality.
I bring you greetings from our group.
Sue brings greetings from the Mothers' Union, translated by Harriet Makumba, the newly appointed curate.
We understand your problems and I will take your report home with me.
Ategeera ebizibu byammwe era bwana baddayo eka lipoota yammwe ajja kugenda nayo.
Mr. Bermecher, mwena. Thank you, Headmaster, for your hospitality today. Webley, Ino.
Cranston playing to the crowd as usual.
On behalf of the Namtumbaki Diconary and on my own behalf, I want to welcome our visitors from Italy. I want to end up by thanking you for what you have given to our visitors. Mangoes, very delicious tea. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Seife tukwebaziza mu kiseera kino kubaawo tibosiimye okutwagananya ng'abaana bo mu kifo kino abalala n'abagenyi baife bana bavuire enda n'enkabira kibumba iseife n'omwana n'omwoyo mwamufu libe kuimwe ku maka gaimwe ku iwanga lino era n'abakozi bamu buti ensenense.
Charles is taking us home to meet his family.
So this is my family where I live. So let me go and show you people who are here. This is my grandfather.
This
is my father.
Good to meet you.
These are my brothers. These are my brothers.
How many are there?
Oh, they are 25.
25 brothers?
Yeah. This is my mother. This is my house. This is my house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you can see that. This is my house. Oh. Yes. This is my house.
Nice.
And I want to show you the one which under
the one under construction.
One under construction.
Right.
This way.
So that's 4 rooms.
Yeah.
Hang on. Camera shy.
My cow.
Okay, come and see.
That's Subutai cow.
So I'm constructing this house. This is my house.
Gosh.
It's under construction. This is my younger child. Oh. This is my younger child. Hello. She's called Christine. Yeah. Yes. Joy. This is Efrance. This is Christine. That is Rachel.
And your wife?
And your wife? 89. 89.
Thank you.
In the southern sub-parishes, there were rather different stories. Nawangisa is just down the main road, and they gave us an absolutely wonderful welcome.
I think you go in there and each one wants
With us on the truck is a Muslim, one of many in Namalemba, who has said he wants to donate a spare house that he has as a health centre for this part of the parish. He's taking us to have a look. It seemed fine, and now we hear that a committee is at work trying to get it underway. We have to go back up the road to cross the swamp to reach the remoter areas in the southeast, first to Namanyumya. There's nobody around yet, so the Archdeacon drummed up some support. We didn't understand the language of the talking drums.
We have two types of this drum. One is called Damali. Damali was one of the people who were baptized first in Namalemba. So Damali went on inviting people to come to the church. Now when we play it, we say Damali Musomesa. She was teaching people for baptism. So you say Damali Musomesa, Damali Apuita, Damali Musomesa. It means you are inviting people to come to the church.
And there's another message you were saying.
Now this one which I have prayed, it is come and pray, come and come. Come and pray. Yeah. We invite them to come for prayers.
We wait in the shade while the midday sun blazes down from immediately overhead. People emerge from their homes in the bush. The countryside conceals huts so easily, and people seem to appear from nowhere. Wherever we go, we're presented with gifts.
Eggs.
Now, Kinanpere School is very special. There are so many children, and schooling costs so much for village people that this school is run by another retired headmaster at his own home. Outside his home is a bamboo shelter, which is the schoolroom. The headmaster tells us how difficult it is running a school in bad weather. He'd really like some iron sheets to make a proper roof.
Every child here is given a piece of chalk and a slated writer. Okay, P1, P2, P3. Are you listening? Yes. P1, take your places. Mr. Isiko Haruna was the secretary. And it is you.
Inside his home, the rooms are also used by the children.
Oh, these, you know, these are abacus.
Oh, for music.
Aha. No, not for me. Yeah, they can be used
For counting.
for counting. Say 5 plus 3.
This improvised abacus is made from bottle tops.
Yes, so improvised this sort of.
He has great plans. He owns this land and he wants to build a proper school here. His commitment and enthusiasm is humbling. The road leads on south.
Lubira was once a leper colony run by the Catholic Church. Now this building's run as a health clinic, but the facilities are appalling. That's an old sterilising unit, on the floor. I asked about their supplies of medicines, and I'm sure they didn't show me, because actually there were none. The old grass-roofed church at Lubira had collapsed, so here we are again, under a tree.
From Lubira to Nzozibiri, where we're welcomed in a surviving grass-roofed church. They tell us we're the first white people they've ever seen here. We believe them. At Bumozi, once again, the proceedings took place under a tree while the half-built church stood waiting. Still, nice cockerel. Bubala is where the witch doctor hangs out in a wooded hollow under that rock over there. They do say it's haunted by a leopard. Another grass-roofed church. Almost there, at Bupala, we're joined by the people from Naziralo. But at Nkombe, under another tree, we looked across at yet another half-built church and contemplated the fact that 4 years ago, it was about 1 foot high. That's about a foot a year. We've been to 12 sub-parishes in 3 days. We've bounced along tracks barely wide enough for a goat. We've been the first white people ever to visit some parts. But now, there's work to be done. As we joined the Namalemba Development Committee meeting in Jonathan Bianzi's garden, Sue unpacks the drugs we've brought for the aid post. These are our partners and our friends, and they've shown us generosity and love in Jesus' name. Coming soon, water for friends. Namalemba manages with just a small number of live water sources like this one at the boarding school, while old sources like this one, installed years ago by the Uganda government, are dry. In remote parts of Uganda like Namalemba, the majority of illnesses are waterborne. Although clinics and health centres are vital, in Africa clean water is the difference between life and death. Busoga Trust has brought reliable, clean water to the parishes of Busoga. They can change this for this. They produce clean water cheaply, and they use the efforts of the people who will benefit from it. Water for Friends, showing how we can bring hope and good health to Namalemba. Visionary is the story of a far-sighted Ugandan called Cyprian Bamwozi. Now Bishop of Busoga, Cyprian has established a development program for his diocese which is literally the envy of all Uganda. From his home, Cyprian tells how the program was set up and the new challenges they're meeting. His senior staff explain how the program works. Is it a model of how rural development should be? Visionary, coming soon. And the AIDS orphans of Busoga, the double tragedy of one generation almost wiped out by the disease, and the grandparents left to look after the children. The dedicated Australian woman who has nursed the dying. The Dutch woman whose family owned an airline. She gave up a fortune to provide a home for the living. 3 extra programs intended to bring Namalemba into focus.